Hello, welcome to Cardminds. Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be an Aquarius weekly money and career reading from September 8th to the 14th, 2025. Aquarius, welcome, welcome. Let's see what messages we have for this upcoming week. Aquarius weekly money and career. September 8th to the 14th, 2025. Thank you for being here. I hope you are well. Be on the lookout, on the hear out, for the magic word if you're interested in putting your name in the hat for a free reading. All you have to do is put the magic word down below in the comment section and be subscribed. I will pull one name and announce it at the end of the month of September. So grab your best headphones, earbuds for better sound, and let's get started. I'm going to pull one. I'm not going to pull one oracle card. Aquarius. Goodness. Cardminds. Pull it together. It's an early morning reading so please forgive me. All right, here we go. Aquarius. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus. What do we have for this upcoming week? What are the messages we need to know? What is the root of the matter for Aquarius? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, money and career, September 8th to the 14th. What do we need to know? What are the messages here? What do we need to know? Okay. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, money and career. Aquarius, money and career. What are the messages for this upcoming week? Okay. All right, Aquarius, let's see what we got. Two of Swords, Ten of Swords, the Chariot, Justice, Five of Swords, Queen of Pentacles. Bring this up a little bit. Three of Swords, Eight of Wands, Five of Cups, Page of Cups, Eight of Cups, the Sun card, beautiful, the Fool, and the Four of Pentacles. You have a choice to make. What direction are you going to go into, right? Which direction are you going to choose? Are you going to choose to open up and see reality, open up and address the issue, or do you even want to see the issue? Or it can be something you've been ignoring, and it doesn't have to be that. It can be denial, ignoring something, not addressing the issue, or not wanting to see, not the right moment, or not for you to do, something like that. Doesn't have to be that. Sorry for that. But it can also be just being indecisive in a decision, right? Whether you're avoiding it or not. Are you indecisive regarding a job change? Are you indecisive regarding a contract? Are you trying to make a decision regarding a financial issue? Getting a loan, choosing a school, negotiating a contract, being in interviews, choosing between two options, choosing between two jobs or two opportunities, or two options, financial options, to pay something back or to make money or to make a business deal. Whatever it is, you have to make a decision, and it seems like you're sort of stuck between two financial options. And if it's not two financial options, it feels like you're stuck between two options, what direction to take or which one to choose. But I do feel with this Ten of Swords and the Justice card is that you felt either stabbed in the back or something's ended, or, felt that you no longer want to work there, or, you really don't like how it went down or how it's going down with this Ten of Swords. And maybe you're exhausted, and maybe you don't, right? There's like, you're hitting a roadblock, and it's like you're hitting the layer where you have to clear the way, and you have to clear the way for a new start, whether it's with a person, whether it's with an energy in the office, in the job, or the energy getting a job, or a person, or something that happened. And it doesn't have to be anything big, but it's something that sort of pulled you down a little bit in having to see reality and focus on that choice you have to make and that decision. And maybe over the summer you're like, I'll wait for later. I don't need to deal with that now. I'll decide later. At one point I'm going to have to clear the way. But it's almost like lessons learned and release. Whatever happened with that person, or whatever has been going on in your mind, right, that you haven't released yet, it's time to release it. And now you're determined to release it. I like that. But we have the Justice, which tells me that it is time to address the issue. And it is time for either, addressing legal matters or financial fairness, or signing the contract in a fair way, getting what you want, getting the money you want, addressing, sometimes we don't like to confront, and sometimes we don't like to have those conversations, and sometimes we don't like to negotiate about money or loans or, or debt or things we need to deal with. And I feel like here with the Justice, you're sort of balancing your books. So whether it's settling debt or making a money decision or making amends with someone, or, right, it's really the law of cause and effect. Whatever's out there that you didn't deal with, now you're coming together and clearing the way, making your decision, finally making your decision, or, just deciding. And with the Chariot, it just confirms that now you're taking charge. You're taking charge of your finances. You're determined. It's a determined process. You might be traveling, you might be relocating. It's a financial victory for you. It's a real financial victory to take charge, to make the decision, to finally deal, to finally address whatever it needed to be addressed. And we do have the Five of Swords, which tells me that there was confrontation, or there was, or is, right? If you're in that still, that ego battle, that conflict over money, that conflict over self-interest, or self-interest over fairness, everyone in their power, everyone in their ego, the person you're battling, or the company you're battling, or the situation you're battling, it is about ego and power over fairness. Or at least that's the way you think, or, and maybe it's just office politics, and maybe it's just ego and attitude, and you want to address the situation and you don't want to deal with it. You're done. You're done. You are resourceful. You are finding solutions. You're being very pragmatic about this. But yes, we do have the Three of Swords, which tells me that you're disappointed in that, right? That it's something that the either financial disappointment in a job, or in a negotiation, or in money you were owed, or disappointment with the banks, or disappointment in the conversations or the people you trusted, whether it's your manager, whether it's people you're doing business with, or even in a school, even in, whatever your environment is, it feels like there's been like an emotional strain due to money. And it can be a broken trust. It can be a bad deal. It can be a job loss. It can be just someone, that broken trust with that one person, or it's just you now taking charge again and, picking yourself back up and determined to push forward to success. And expect some news. Yes, you're disappointed. And I think you're disappointed at that person. And maybe it's just, confirming whatever thing you already knew, or whatever thing that you were maybe a little bit in denial. There's a new offer here, and you're clearly stepping away from the drama, stepping away from, that conflict, moving away from, that person, that dynamic, those emotions. And you might be stepping away from something that was very stable for you for a long time. Attach these people. These are your friends, or these were your coworkers, or this has been your job for a while, or these are, right? But you're moving into the sun, and doesn't get better than the sun. So you stepping away, and again, it can be just in your mind, just in your heart, issues you haven't dealt with, and now you know that you're taking charge, one, yourself, and financially, of your situation, and you're stepping away, moving into something so much more positive. For you, it's just here comes the sun. Really, here comes the sun. So whatever choice you make, whatever decision you make to step away, it's really giving you mental clarity, mental illumination, clearing away all the confusion and the doubts and the illusions, right? It's the moment where things just click for you, and everything's going to be okay. And you understand, understanding becomes simple. If it was burdensome, if it was heavy, it was confusing, and the people and the dynamic and what's going on, and I don't trust them, and why is it so difficult? All that, right? The laundry list. Well, now things are becoming bright, undeniable, and simple. Nothing is hidden anymore. The truth is out, if there's a truth that needs to be, coming out. But everything just becomes visible and accessible and simple. It makes sense to you. So again, the sun is about confidence, self-confidence, to push forward, to understand what has to be, what is at stake, what has to be solved, what has to be confronted, whether it be personal or with other people, or business circumstances, or school, or within your job with your manager, or even your job research. Why are these interviews so difficult for you, weighing heavy on you, and the communication is not fluid? Well, here's your confidence that's coming back. So trust your own judgment, right? See things clearly and communicate clearly, right? In a positive way, in a constructive way. And thinking, constructive thinking and positive thinking is really bringing confidence in your ideas, and maybe even the joy of learning, the joy of training, where before you were like, I don't want to train, I don't want to deal with all that, I don't want to have a job where I have to learn things, train things, I just want to get into a job and shine and do my job, but maybe I'll learn along the way, but I don't want to go through a training program and all that. But I think that now you sort of get it, that this is a process, and and it's going to bring you to a whole different level. And if you've watched the latest readings for Aquarius, I do feel like the past readings were stepping up, getting into a new job, getting into a new role, taking on new responsibilities, a whole new ball game, a whole new environment, probably maybe out of your comfort zone, because here we have the Fool again, stepping into out of your comfort zone, getting rid of old obligations, but really the first steps into your future that you're not completely in control of because you've never done before, and you really don't know exactly how it's going to pan out, but you're ready for the adventure. But on the adventure, of course, there's a learning process, connecting with new people, doing things in a different way, and maybe even doing a job that you've never done before. But it is a whole new adventure. So embrace this new adventure and trust the process, because that's what it's all about. The world is your oyster to do all kinds of new things and experience new things. And that's how we grow. That's how we move forward in our career. That's how we develop our career. That's how we learn new things, make more money, more opportunities, right? If we keep ourselves in one lane and just make sure we stay in that lane, there's not much room for development, self-development, emotional development, intellectual development, right? It's like, but here I feel like you're really excited to share this, and you're really excited about it, even though there might have been someone or some energy along the way that might have been a little difficult. And four of Pentacles, right? Holding on to your pentacles, budgeting, remaining in control financially seems most important for you. Let's dig in. Let's dive in. Let's see if there's more messages coming in, or see what else we can get from this. 59% of the people that watch this channel are not subscribed. So it would be wonderful if you can consider subscribing if you haven't yet. It takes 1 second. It doesn't cost you anything. Click the subscribe button. It makes a huge difference for channels like this, small channels, to grow, to progress, right? Same for you, same for me as for you. Thank you for considering subscribing if you haven't yet. And thank you for considering supporting this channel. If you enjoy these readings, or you find something positive in them, or you connect with them, or you just find them entertaining, thank you. Thank you for considering subscribing. It means the world to me. And for everyone that has subscribed and that has been supporting this channel, everyone from the beginning and along the way, gratitude to each and every one. Thank you. And huge shout out to all the amazing members supporting this channel. You know who you are. Shout out to you. You know that probably without you, this channel wouldn't exist anymore. So gratitude to all. Thank you. All right, let's dive in. Let's see if we can gain a little more clarity on this. What is it you need to choose? What is this Two of Swords? What is this Two of Swords? Well, it's the same thing. I should do the Justice, but it's the same thing, right? This is all that same energy of having, being at that crossroads now and having to address the issue, or having to make a decision to adapt. Yeah, you have a lot of responsibilities. You're juggling a lot. But this is about adapting to a new session. I don't know what that means. This is about adapting to a new job. There we go. We have the Ace of Wands. It's a new job. There's your new opportunity. And so you're juggling a lot of responsibilities starting this new job, and you have to adapt to a new environment, new boss, new ways, new process, new people, right? Whatever it is. And I feel like right off the bat, there's a lot to deal with. Well, which seems natural when we start a job. We have to, there's a lot to process and a lot to learn or adapt to right off the bat. All right, let's see what the Justice is all about. You're determined, though. You're ready. You got this. You got this. This is, the Chariot appears when you're ready, stable, and you have this willpower to move forward. Whatever the obstacles are, you got this. Whatever things you have to deal with or adapt to or figure out along the way, you got this. You are power forward here, but you want fairness. All right, so what is this Justice? Why do we have the Justice? Oh, let me change decks. Why do we have the Justice card here? What is this decision? This can be a decision. Okay, it's this one. Okay, money. Let's see if there's one more card with the So you might be dealing with a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. This is a person that takes charge. This is a successful business person. This is someone that knows how to make money. This is a powerful business person. Can be manager, your boss, or someone you're dealing with, or someone, right? Or it's you, but I don't think so. I feel like this Queen of Pentacles, King of Pentacles are people with money and people in charge. And you, with this with the Nine of Wands, you're sort of not, tippy-toeing around this person or around this energy, sort of walking on eggshells. You're sort of, there's a fatigue there, but you're there. You're pushing forward. Doesn't matter. You got this. I feel like maybe there's a bit of a burnt out, right? But you're just maintain those boundaries. Maintain healthy boundaries. There's a lot of ego going on here with this Five of Swords. A lot of ego battle. Yes, just maintain those boundaries, maintain harmony in family. Can be a family member, can be someone, but I feel like this is you will find balance. You will find harmony within this job. But yes, there's a lot of ego. I feel like there's conflict over money and conflict over self-interest, right? Over fairness. And I feel like sometimes you're like, wait a second, this is, this is not okay. I don't like to work this way, or everybody's in their ego, and everybody has to step down their ego. I feel like that's what you have in your mind, but at the same time, I feel like you have that ego too, which, it's like, well, if you're going to play that game, I know how to play that game too. All right. Okay. So let's move on to this beautiful Fool and the Sun. Well, let's move on to the Fool. I feel like this is creative. You're in a creative process or in a creative environment. You're asking a lot of questions. There's a lot of ideas around the table. You might have meetings talking about ideas, developing things, pitching ideas. I don't know, but it feels like it's a very creative environment. And with the Fool, let's see what the Fool is all about. Yeah, you want the truth. Well, the truth, is it really the truth, or you just want to be in you're a smart person. So I feel like you're financially savvy and you're a smart person. And I feel like, so this is you. So I feel like the decision you're making, the decision we talked about from the beginning here, is something you're going to make it with clarity. And the whole idea is to detach from emotional stigma, or detach from any emotional energy that you might have towards someone, or have towards an environment or people or group of people, or whatever decision you're making. You're going to make it with clarity and intelligence. And all of this detachment is about utilizing your intellect, your mind, to protect your assets. And that's what you want to do. Just protect your assets and be smart. And I think you're outsmarting everybody. One more card on the Sun, please. One more card on the Sun for Aquarius. One more card on the Sun. Yeah. Considering what went wrong and really wanting to reap the fruits of your labor. And that's why I want to be paid for what I did. I need to be paid for this. This has to be fair. We need to negotiate, or give me the money, or where's the money, or this has to be clear, and the decisions have to be made in a fair way. This is really about bringing back balance to something that probably was wonky or probably wasn't fair to your eyes. And, and you're like, well, no, I need the truth. I can play that game too. But at the end of the day, this is what I want. This is this was my idea, I want to be paid for it, or this is how it's going to go down. And I think that you're playing that business ball game where you're like, there's no room for emotion. There's no room for drama. Business is business. Numbers are numbers. Stick to the facts. Negotiate with the facts, and and you'll get your money. You want to be paid. You've been patient, or you want people to acknowledge that you need to be paid for something. It feels like it's a money issue, and it feels like you want truth to that. Very good, Aquarius. All right, let's see if there's one last message for the road, Aquarius. If you're interested in a tarot reading, whether you've ever had one or not, and maybe it's something you're interested in, we do live tarot sessions 3 times a week, Sundays at 12 noon Eastern Standard Time, Mondays and or Fridays at 7 p.m. Sometimes I change the hours a little bit, but if that's something you're interested in, you can join membership, $5, $10, $20 tier. All tiers give access to a tarot reading. So as long as you're a member, you can join us during the live. We would love to have you. It's a beautiful community. It's a positive community to reinforce positive energies. We're there to support each other, but also we do tarot readings, or I do tarot readings. So you can ask any question you want. Doesn't have to be money and career. If there's something that's been on your mind or weighing on you, or you're trying to figure something out, or trying to find the truth on something or someone, right? You can ask that question. The only questions I do not answer are health issues, because I'm not a doctor, but anything else goes. And they're real tarot readings. We do dive all in, right? And if you are a member and stick around as a member for a while, you can come around and, and sort of dive in deeper and figure out your issue and what's going on and all that. All right. Let's see if there's one last message for the road. Aquarius, one last message for the road. Aquarius, money and career, September 8th to the 14th. What do we have? 4 of Swords. I don't know which was the other. Wait, let me do this again. Too many cards. One last message for the road for Aquarius. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Creative. There's an offer there. I mean, there's someone contacting you regarding ideas, creativity. Suddenly, right? So you're taking a breather after all this, or having to make your decision, address, everything you had to address. And then there's some new vibration here, someone contacting you or connecting with you to work on something or discuss ideas. And it's quite sudden. And it's quite sudden that you are now understanding that you're working on something else, letting go, right? This 5, 10 of Swords, this person or this situation that stabbed you in the back, or that you feel done. 10 of Wands, 10 of Swords, done. You're now planning the future, opening up your horizons, but working on something, traveling, expanding, working on, meeting new people, having new conversations, adapting to a new environment. If it's a new job, new projects, a lot going on, very creative. You're now planning long-term. This is a long-term vision. This is a long-term job, business, goal, whatever it is. I hope you enjoyed this reading as much as I did. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to each and everyone for being here, for sharing your energies, for supporting this channel. Gratitude. Gratitude to all. I want to say that the magic word here is I hear about moving forward, moving on. Okay, moving on. Is it moving on? Okay. Moving on will be the magic word to put down below in the comment section if you want to potentially put your name in the hat for a free reading. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great week, Aquarius. Take care. Bye-bye.